are a lot of people who struggle with emotional and mental health issues. You have many medicines for the physical body, but there's nothing for the emotions and thoughts that a person goes through.
What's your energetic advice around people who are maybe going through a difficult times or having a heartbreak?
Where a person has had a heartbreak and they're not able to move on in life. The reason this happens, Aisha, is because some of them end up having such poor self-esteem because the breakup has happened in such an ugly manner. So in Pranic Healing,
What is Kundalini energy?
Kundalini energy is a very powerful energy which is somewhere at the base of the spine. This Kundalini energy, when highly activated over a long period of time, can help a person become... Many years ago, I was conducting a healing camp in one of my friend's spas in Jumeirah.
Okay.
And a lady had walked in. I asked her, what would you like me to do for you? She said, do whatever you do. I removed the stress energies, the negative energies, your negative thoughts and emotions. And to that, she said, had I not walked in here, I had planned to go to the nearest building and jump out from there.
Oh my God. Hi everyone, welcome to Stories That Matter, where conversations aren't just heard, they are felt. I'm your host Aisha, and today we are diving deep into the unseen layers of healing. Have you ever wondered that we can actually get cured without medicine or without any touch? Yes, that's true. And today it's my absolute honor to have the person on my show who has walked her path away from banking career to healing the souls around her. Listening to her, every cell of your being will know that what you're going to hear is just meant for you. Whom am I talking about? Shanu Anand. She's a certified pranic healer, senior instructor, and meditation teacher who has helped countless people to heal emotionally, physically, and energetically. She started her career into pranic healing 24 years ago. She comes from a corporate background and she has worked with well-known banks like Standard Chartered, Barclays, Bank of Dubai. She had what many would call a dream life. She had a highly successful banking career, but she had chosen her inner calling. And for the last 15 years, she has dedicated her life to spreading the profound teachings of Master Chow Kok Sui, the founder of Pranic Healing. Let's talk to the former banker who has traded spreadsheets for spirituality. She's here with us to decode the invisible, from auras and chakras to abundance and prosperity. So let's welcome her to our show. Welcome, Shanu. It's lovely to have you today on our show, Stories That Matter.
Thank you, Aisha. My pleasure in being here today.
Thank you. Absolute honor for us. What excites me the most is knowing your background. You come from a banking background and you chose your inner calling to serve the world. I would love to know your story. And I'm so excited to hear from you today. What's the story behind leaving your banking career and stepping into this spirituality world?
Aisha, I learned pranic healing 24 years ago. I would like to say that I was a complete skeptic, a non-believer. In fact, I walked into a pranic healing center in 1994 in the south of India in Chennai. And my friend's mum, she was diagnosed with fourth stage cancer. I went with her. I stood outside. I refused to walk in because I said, things like this don't work. And then again, I was introduced to it in 96. I didn't go for it, 98. By 2001, I had gone through a lot of ups and downs in my life. And, I was forced to learn pranic healing by one of my colleagues in Standard Chartered. And she said, why don't you try healing? Because my husband does this. And I thought at that point in time, why would you need doctors if you can just go to someone for healing? So she insisted, and I went. He did a session on me, a healing session, pranic healing session on me. I didn't feel much, but something must have changed for me to be there in his class the following weekend.
Oh, amazing.
Yes, that's right. So he insisted, and he made sure that I was there. His name is Prakash Palgopal. He is my trainer, and he is one of the main people who started pranic healing in the Middle East. So that's how I got into it. But having learned it, I kind of just did it on family, friends, etc. I was quite shy to talk about it because I thought people would make fun that I'm a banker and I'm doing things like
Yeah.
waving my hands in the
Yeah,
air and I expect
exactly.
people to be healed.
Yeah.
In fact, Aisha, I also started to do it to kind of check whether it works or no. But every single time I did try it on someone, whether it was a herniated disc issue or a shoulder pain or just a common cold or fever, it would work.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
yes, so that's how I really got into it. And then eventually, let's say many years down the line, so after 15 years of banking, I decided that there are a lot of people who struggle with emotional and mental health issues. You have many medicines for the physical body, but there's nothing for the emotions and thoughts that a person goes through. It's easy to say forget about what happened to you. It's easy to say, let's move on in life when a person has had an emotional setback, whether it's a relationship breakup or having had a bad time with finances or just going through childhood traumas from child molestation to physical sexual abuse. It's not easy to get rid of this. And having seen the miracles of pranic healing actually uses very scientific techniques, and it works along the law of nature. It uses the law of nature and gives you amazing results. So, having seen that in my own life, I thought it's high time I take this out to people. And my aim was more to take Master Chow Kok Sui's teachings of pranic healing and Arhatic yoga and get the common man acquainted with it, learn it, practice it, so that Master Chow's vision of having one pranic healer in every family would be materialized. It was my little effort in his big vision. That's
Yeah,
it.
you're doing a wonderful job by being part of his mission. For a common man who is very new to pranic healing, how would you introduce pranic healing?
That's a wonderful question, Aisha. Pranic healing works on two laws. The first law is called the law of self recovery, which means that your body has the capacity to heal itself at a certain rate. The second law is called the law of life energy, which means that life energy is required for physical life to exist. Now, this concept of life energy is a universal concept. It's called chi in Chinese, it's called ki in Japanese. In Arabic, it's called taka. In pranic healing, we call it prana. Prana is derived from an old Indian language, which is Sanskrit. So, by increasing the prana or the life energy of the affected part or the whole body, the rate of self healing of the body is accelerated. So, let me give you an example. If, let's say, someone falls down, they have a cut or a wound, even if they don't apply any medication on it, it will heal in a few days because the body heals itself at a certain rate. But in pranic healing, we know that for life to exist, you need to have life energy. So, by increasing the life energy of the affected part, the cut or the wound may heal in instead of taking a few days, it may take just 1 day to heal if it's a small cut. In fact, when you learn advanced pranic healing, if it's a very small cut, it may heal just in 1 or 2 hours.
Oh, wow. It's that instant.
Yes, it is. It is. That's why advanced is called advanced,
Okay.
right? So, therefore, in pranic healing, life energy is the medium of healing. The healer transfers life energy. The good news is the healer is using the life energy from the universe and transferring it to the patient. No. So, therefore, in pranic healing, we can say that the healer transfers life energy to the patient to accelerate the rate of healing.
From where does this life energy comes from?
Life energy comes from three primary sources. One is the air, there's prana in the air, the sun, and the earth. So these are the three primary sources of life energy. You also have secondary sources, for example, the trees and the plants, which are secondary sources of life energy because they've absorbed prana from the air, the sun, and the earth.
But you, as pranic healers, use that life source from air. and
sun,
sun
and the
and
earth.
earth
That's right.
to heal the patient.
That's
That's
right.
interesting. I would love to experience that side of it. Every human has an aura, and they are invisible chakras which exist either inside or outside the system. I'm not sure. Maybe you're gonna correct me out. So, what is your take on that? Like, how to sense the aura of a person, and what are the chakras, and what are the emotions linked to those chakras?
Okay. So the aura is the light that surrounds the physical body. In other words, there are two aspects to the physical body. One is the visible physical body, and the other is the invisible physical body, which is also called the etheric body because it's made up of etheric matter. In common language, we call it the aura. So there are different types of auras. One of them is the inner aura, which takes the shape of the physical body. Okay, so if you've got two physical arms, you have two energy arms. If you've got 2 ears, you've got two energy ears. So the inner aura, which takes the shape of the physical body, is like a mold to the physical body. What affects one affects the other. They have a very close degree of correspondence with each other. So that's the inner aura. So let me give you an example. So if, for example, a person has a lot of stress, they're going through stress at work or at home, over a period of time, they may start feeling low on energy. They may feel demotivated in going to work, or it may manifest as a physical issue like, a stress headache or a migraine.
Mhm.
Now, the energy body got affected. Over a period of time, the physical body got affected. It could also be the other way around. If a person has had food which did not agree with them, let's say they had some kind of stale food, they may have, food poisoning. And therefore, the physical body is affected, but they may also start feeling low on energy. Like, doesn't a person say, oh, I don't have the energy to do this today? So, physically, if you're affected, then the energy body also gets affected.
Okay. What about the chakras?
Just like you have organs in the physical body, you've got chakras, which are like energy centers or power stations in the energy field, in the aura. These chakras are both inside and outside the body. These chakras are like energy centers. They rotate clockwise and counterclockwise. The average size of a chakra is about 3 to 4 inches in diameter. The chakras have physical functions and psychological functions. So, for example, there is an energy center called the solar plexus chakra, which is at the end of your sternum, end of the last rib. You have a front solar plexus and a back solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus chakra, at a physical level, controls and energizes your liver, the stomach, the diaphragm, the pancreas, to a certain extent, your large and small intestines. It is an important chakra which is healed when a person has digestive issues. Now, the same energy center also has a psychological function. So, the psychological function for the solar plexus is that it's your psychic garbage can. It is a center for all lower emotions, both positive and negative lower emotions. So, when a person is angry, upset, stressed, that energy also goes to the solar plexus. And if you see that people who have issues with digestion, in most cases, if it's long standing issues with digestion, in most cases, they also have a lot of stress and a buildup of negative thoughts and emotions.
So, the key chakra for holding our garbage, our emotions, negative emotions, stress, anxiety, fear.
Is the
So,
solar plexus.
solar plex.
That's right. That's one of the main ones.
So, I believe by listening to you, solar plex is one of the most crucial chakra which we need to keep clean and healthy.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Aisha.
So when it comes to fear and stress and worry, I think these are normal emotions what a man carry in daily lives. And you have mentioned that they all get stored in solar plex as a garbage can. How does pranic healing help in clearing up those contaminated chakras?
There are two techniques involved in doing pranic healing, Aisha. The first technique is called cleansing. In cleansing, what we do is we cup our hands and we sweep the dirty energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be on the affected chakra or the affected part. and then we throw it into a bowl of salt and water. Okay? When the affected chakra or the affected part is relatively clean, the second step is called energizing. So we energize that part by receiving good and clean prana from one hand and we give it with the other hand. This is called energizing.
To the patient.
Yes, because the medium of pranic healing is energy or life force. So we receive the life force from one hand, we give it through the other hand. So these are the two main techniques involved in doing pranic healing.
Which chakra is associated with overthinking? I'm sure that's a common issue which people face nowadays, where they are stuck into that cycle of overthinking and keeping that thoughts in their mind back to back. So, how to address that?
All right, so there are multiple chakras, but the main one, which is connected to overthinking, obsessive thinking, is the throat chakra, which you learn in the level 3 of pranic healing. When you learn pranic psychotherapy, you learn the psychological functions. So, to answer your specific question, it would be the throat. But some of this energy is also found in the solar plexus, it is also found in other relative chakras.
Listening to you, Shanu, I'm intrigued to know more about chakras and how they impact psychologically to humans.
Sure. Aisha, so like I said, in pranic healing, there are 11 major chakras. All right. They have physical and psychological functions. Now, of course, one should come and learn pranic healing to understand this in detail. But some of the most important energy centers and their psychological functions, one would be the solar plexus, which is a center for all lower emotions like anger, stress, anxiety, worry. These are negative lower emotions, but this is also the center for positive lower emotions like persistence, perseverance, courage, self confidence. This comes from the solar plexus. So it's a very important chakra. You know, if people have, for example, poor self esteem issues, or they don't have the courage or the strength to do something, by treating their solar plexus chakra in pranic psychotherapy, you are able to heal them for having better self confidence, good self esteem, courage, etc. And the heart chakra is another important energy center. The heart chakra's emotional or psychological function is it's a center for higher emotions like peace, love, forgiveness, compassion, mercy. Therefore, by treating the heart chakra, you are in pranic psychotherapy, by treating the heart chakra, you can help a person to experience happiness and peace, to be more loving and kind.
So that comes from heart chakra.
That comes from the heart.
As the name suggests.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's nice.
We just spoke about overthinking, right? Now, the throat chakra is an energy center which is connected to the mental faculty and it's connected to knowledge. It is also the center for higher creativity. And it is the center for an eye for detail. So, people who have an eye for detail have a very strong throat chakra. You know, so right from people who are very creative, they can sing, those who can sing, dance, those who are good in business, those who are good in politics. You need to be very creative to do all of this. They have very strong throat chakras, right? For studying, planning, or executing a project, you need a strong throat chakra. It helps you work out the details. Now, the downside is that if you over detail something, you end up over processing information.
Okay.
So, therefore, when a person overthinks or worries, the throat chakra also gets affected.
That sounds interesting.
Yes. So, the basic chakra, which is called the root chakra in yoga system, it is located at the base of the spine. The psychological function of it is the will to live is in the basic chakra.
Okay. Interesting.
Right? So if a person wants to live, they will do anything to survive. The survival instinct is in the basic, which means what do we need to survive as humans? We need
Basic
food,
necessities, food, water, shelter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, for all of this, you need money. You can't walk into Carrefour and say, hey, can you give me food for the month? Doesn't work that way. Right? So, the basic chakra is the center for self survival. No matter how much difficulty a person is going through. But if they have a strong basic chakra, they will do something to try and make things work. At the same time, when a person has lost hope and they just don't want to live anymore, the basic chakra gets affected. So your will to live or self-preservation is in the basic chakra.
So if a person having such suicidal thoughts, so that means their basic chakra is affected?
Absolutely. And by treating the basic chakra, you can help a person going through these situations. So I was in many years ago, I was conducting a healing camp in one of my friends' spas in Jumeirah. And a lady had walked in. So when she walked in, she said, "Okay, you can do me a healing." I asked her, "What would you like me to do for you?" She said, "Do whatever you do." So when someone says that, we do a deep psychotherapy session, removing the negative thoughts and emotions. And of course, we also work on the basic chakra. Now, when she woke up, she slept through my healing, because when a person is feeling relaxed, they tend to sleep when you're doing the healing session for them. And then when she woke up, she actually told me, she asked me, "What did you do to me?" I said, "I didn't touch you. I removed the stress energies, the negative energies, your negative thoughts and emotions." And to that, she said, "Had I not walked in here, I had planned to go to the nearest building and jump off from there."
Oh my
This
God.
is about 16 years ago.
My God.
I still have goosebumps when I share this story, because I didn't even know what she was going through.
Oh my God.
And this is the result that it gave me by just removing the negative thoughts, negative emotions, cleansing, energizing, and balancing the chakras using pranic psychotherapy. So, technically, within 30 minutes of a healing session, you can change the mood of a person from being sad to being happy, from not having the will to live to wanting to live, at least not wanting to, give up their life and try something.
Oh my God. That's wonderful. I think that's a wonderful practical story you have shared with us, how pranic healing can actually heal you emotionally, physically, and mentally as well.
It can treat many emotional and mental issues. It can treat a lot of physical issues. Let me restate that pranic healing is meant to complement modern medicine. It's not meant to replace it. And it is non invasive. So, if you go to a medical doctor, you can also take pranic healing. If you are taking Chinese herbal medicine, you can, for the physical body, you can also take pranic healing. If you are doing acupuncture, you can also do pranic healing in parallel, right? So, it is complementary in nature and it is non invasive.
Interesting.
Pranic healing can also treat a lot of physical ailments. So, for example, people who are struggling with lower back pain or sciatica or herniated disc, it's very common nowadays. And one of the main causes of this is stress, because a person has not gone and banged their lower back or had an injury. There are some people who also have it because of injury, but most cases are emotional in origin. In fact, Master Chow Koksui says that many physical ailments are emotional in origin. So if you don't treat the cause of the issue, you're only treating the symptom, right? And therefore, pranic psychotherapy is very important, because it helps you to treat the cause of the problem.
Oh, that's a deep thing. Like that we people often neglect the fact, we don't realize that the bottom line, the cause which is causing that physical ailment, or whether it's an emotional
It could be
ailment.
emotional in
It,
nature.
yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So we never wonder, like it's something which we don't realize, that how important it is to first address the cause, underlying cause, which is causing us pain, whether it's at physical level or emotional level. And a pranic healing helping to clear that out from your aura, from your chakras, and clearing the dirty energy, the contaminated energy. I think that's uh, that's what people should try out.
Have you come across cases where people do not eat fatty food, they don't drink, they don't smoke, but they still have a heart ailment, they still have a heart attack, because they may be very stressed, they may be going through emotional issues in life, right? Now, Master Jaw says that people talk about stress, but they don't realize that there is something called stress energy. This stress energy is a very low vibration, which is a person's negative reaction to a taxing situation. That leads to stress energy. This stress energy will obviously settle into the solar plexus. Like I said, it's your psychic garbage can. Now, what do I mean by a psychic garbage can? I mean that this is an energy center whose psychological function is it is a storehouse of negative thoughts and emotions. They go to this chakra.
Okay.
When these negative thoughts and emotions and the stress energy build up and a person is not able to get out of this rut or this vicious cycle, if your garbage can is full, it's going to overflow. So some of that dirty energy goes to the heart chakra because the solar plexus and the heart chakra are connected with meridians. These meridians are energy channels. So some of the stress energy from the solar plexus would contaminate the heart chakra. And over a long period of time, it can manifest as a heart ailment. It could manifest for someone as palpitations, or in someone else, it could manifest as a blockage in the heart or a coronary artery disease.
It's interesting to know that how, stress can lead to heart ailments.
Yes, it
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
Pranic healing helps to treat physical ailments ranging from bone related issues, the issues of skeletal and muscular system like arthritis, rheumatism, herniated disc, lower back pain, to muscle inflammation, also issues with migraines.
Does it even heal cancer patients?
Pranic healing helps to treat cancer. Like I said, it is non invasive and it is complementary in nature. So while a person is going to the medical doctor, taking all their therapies and treatments, pranic healing has specific protocols to treat cancer as well.
It's so incredible to know that, each of our chakras are basically our emotional processors. It's rightly said that, energy speaks volume before you even utter a word. And the way you have told about pranic healing, it just tells that how energetically we are influencing the world, how our aura is influencing the people around us, and how important it is to have a strong, healthy aura so that we can shine in the world.
Absolutely.
Shanu, we all crave as humans, we all crave to have strong connections, good bonds, uh, relations that nurture us, that take care of us and support us when we are going through the difficult times. But often what happens is, but sometimes these relationships helps in triggering us, help us to even transform for a better living. From pranic healing perspective, I would like to know your take on how to navigate when we are having conflicts in a relationship in a compassionate way, how they can navigate around in a peaceful manner.
So, Aisha, Master Chua has clearly emphasized that in the modern world, a lot of relationship issues are going to come up because people work. Let's talk about a husband wife relationship. Both parties are working. Both of them may go through stress at work. Now, you cannot, if you're going through a relationship with a painful boss, you cannot shout back at the boss because you won't have a job tomorrow. So you tend to bottle up. And then eventually, this psychic garbage, which is in the solar plexus, is going to come out on your partner. So technically, you're using the other person as a psychic garbage can, right? And this is one of the reasons why people end up having conflicts. They're not willing to give in. So, what can pranic healing do for you? There are a couple of things that can be done. One is inner forgiveness. And the concept has been explained beautifully by Master Chaw, where he says that you can't hold on to the grievance for a long period of time because you're going to be affected by it. At a physical level, emotionally, your relationship is going to be affected. So the best is to practice inner forgiveness, which is done in a certain way. So one of the causes for a strained relationship is because people go through stress at work, they bottle up, they come back home and they throw their psychic garbage on their partners. This may lead to conflict, or there could be other issues. When a person is angry with their, let's say, relative, friend, or husband or wife, nobody wants to give in. They don't want to let go because they're upset, they're angry. So Master Cha emphasizes the power of forgiveness, inner forgiveness. Now, inner forgiveness is not something where you go and tell the other person, "Hey, I forgive you," but it's what you do in your own space and time, where you can think about a person who has hurt you. You can put your hands in a blessing position, You visualize the person in front of you and you say, I forgive you for all the hurt and pain that you have caused me. Now, as you keep doing this and you keep blessing the person, you're sending them a lot of divine energy. This helps you to feel peaceful and calm. It helps you to get over some of the resentment and anger that you may have. It also sends a lot of positive vibes to the other person. So they tend to obviously respond in a positive way to you. And that's one of the things which he emphasizes on. The other is there's something called relationship healing, where you can actually do a healing session to remove the negative thoughts and emotions towards the other party from the energy centers of the person. So, if you're healing a husband and a wife, from the wife, you will remove negative thoughts and emotions towards the husband. And from the husband, you'll remove negative thoughts and emotions towards his wife.
So that works.
That works.
Oh, interesting.
You will treat the psychological functions of the chakras. You will treat those chakras with certain psychological functions. You clean, energize, and balance them. Of course, there's a whole science behind this and an art. The application is an art, which you will learn in the different levels in pranic healing. But having done this, there are cases where people who were at the brink of a divorce are now living with great compatibility. There are people who were going through a difficult time, siblings, who are now able to, you know, be kind to each other and coexist. so so you can heal you can heal a parent and child relationship. You can heal a brother and sister, a sibling relationship. You can heal a husband wife relationship.
So that's interesting. Like if somebody is going through these sort of conflicts, though, so there's a way out
Yes,
to
there
deal.
is. There
Yeah,
is.
and it's nice concept of just healing it energetically. That fascinates me a lot. What's your energetic advice around people who are maybe going through a difficult times or having a heartbreak, which is quite common among this generation, where relationships are not that easy to have, and not just to have a relation but difficult to maintain at the same time.
This is a very common healing that I come across. Where a person has had a heartbreak and they're not able to move on in life, and they end up sometimes wasting not just a few months but a few years. The reason this happens, Aisha, is because some of them end up having such poor self-esteem because the breakup has happened in such an ugly manner. So they feel, I'm useless. I don't deserve to have someone good in my life. Or the other reason could be that one of the parties may be so obsessed with their boyfriend or their girlfriend that they feel, if not this person, I don't want anyone else.
I think that's a common thought when a person goes through heartbreak. The first, I think, thought which comes is like,
Yes.
yeah, I'm not good enough.
I'm not good enough is one. The other is they're so obsessed with this person that they feel they don't want anyone else in their life. They just don't want to move on. So, in pranic healing, when you clear these energies of obsession and these energies of poor self esteem, that I'm not good enough, there's something wrong with me, or I don't deserve to have a good relationship. When you clear out these energies, the same people are able to open their eyes and are able to see there are many more fish in the sea and they're able to move on in life.
Yeah, I think that's the hard part. Moving on after a breakup, that's quite challenging, and advising the people at that time becomes actually a responsibility to the.
True, and they're not willing to listen because they're so blocked with the kind of energy that they have. So when you remove these energy blockages.
So where do they lie? These energy blockages mainly.
These energy blockages are in the form of negative thoughts and emotions, their poor self esteem, their energies of obsession. They lie in different chakras. So, as you take them out, you just need to pluck them out with your hand. Like I said, there is a technology behind this. You pluck them out with your hands and you replace it with power, with courage, with good self esteem, with self confidence. The same person is willing to move on in just a few sessions.
Shanu, what's your take on the relationships which are toxic and they are not able to have good closures? How does pranic healing helps?
Well, Aisha, a toxic relationship could be at a husband wife level. It could be between two friends where the relationship has really gone sour. Both parties in the relationship should practice inner forgiveness towards each other. Both parties need to be healed and take relationship healing. But if it is very toxic, like you mentioned, and there's a huge entanglement and there's no closure, they don't want to leave each other, or one person wants to be vindictive or seek revenge and say, I will. We're talking about a husband wife relationship here, right? So, wants to seek revenge and say, I don't want to let go. I don't want to give you a divorce because I just want to torture you. Well, if that's the case, then in that case, I totally recommend that the saner individual between the relationships, they learn pranic healing because they can change a lot of things energetically.
What's your closing statement on why person should learn pranic healing?
Well, if you give a fish to a person, you fed him for the day, Aisha. But if you teach them how to fish, you fed them for a lifetime.
Very true.
So when a person learns pranic healing, when you teach them pranic healing, you have taught them the most essential pranic healing knowledge. You make them learn and develop the skill sets to be able to heal themselves and others. Therefore, they are never helpless. They have the power to heal themselves and their family and friends around them. Learning pranic healing helps them to upgrade their energy. And like Master Choa says, there is a scientific concept of like energy attracts like energy. What you have in your life is a function of the energy that you carry, be it in terms of money, in terms of relationship, in terms of health.
Now you have touched on the topic of like attracts like. I would like to navigate to the topic of law of attraction, which is a spiritual hashtag nowadays. But what people miss out on the side of manifestation and law of attraction, I believe there is something more to it. And I would like to know your take on what law of attraction is and how people can use it for manifesting their life of their dreams.
To explain the law of attraction and pranic healing's take on it, we understand that the energy field around the person is the aura. Now, if this aura is going to be filled with stress, anger, worry, fear, do you think the person is going to be having a great time in their life?
They're not going to attract, they're going to attract the same things what's there inside.
Absolutely. So, what they will attract is what they have. So, at that time, if a person wants to get into a relationship, if they have a lot of anger energy, they may end up attracting someone who also has similar energy, right? Like attracts like.
It works like that.
Yes, it does. Where when you change your energy, when your aura is clean and it's filled with peace, with love, with the energy of prosperity, you will end up attracting more opportunities to make money. You will end up attracting the right friends in your life. You may end up attracting the right work that you're looking for. On that note, I'd like to mention that there is a wonderful course called GMCKS Kriya Shakti, which teaches you how to manifest things that you want in your life. It teaches you the science behind it and it teaches you the skill set which you can use to manifest.
If you can share some tip for my listeners on law of attraction, maybe from that one piece of advice from that course.
Well, I don't want to steal the thunder away from that course. They have to learn it themselves. But what I can say is just start with trying to keep your energy clean at a physical level and emotionally as well. So start with positive thoughts, positive affirmations. Avoid negative thoughts at the same time. The moment you start thinking negative, stop yourself and start thinking something positive. The cleaner the energy in your aura, the better your chances to materialize what you want.
Okay. It's that important to have a clean, healthy aura.
Yes, because Master Choa says that what you think of and what you say repeatedly, be it good or be it bad, it will manifest.
Uh-huh.
Even in common language, we say thoughts become things. Now, if you have the energy to back it, now, if you want to manifest something in your life, you have to create that thought. And if your energy is clean, good, and wholesome, and you keep repeating that thought and those words, your affirmations, it will manifest.
So what I understood from you that it's so important to have a clean aura to attract the right things in your life. Like you said, the like attracts like. So if we are looking for the right partners, first we need to heal ourselves
Absolutely.
emotionally
Yes.
to get the right partners. And if we are looking for success,
We need to carry the energy of success. You can't be meditating on failure and being scared and worried and expect to attract success, right?
yeah. And if we want to attract love, we need to have that love in ourselves. Oh, that's interesting. And when it comes to manifestation and having an abundant, prosperous life, which chakra is it associated with?
So, technically, your basic chakra, like I said, it's the center for prosperity, right? We'd mentioned it earlier. But even more important than that is to have a big heart chakra. Because, like Master Choa has explained, it isn't giving that we receive. So, if you're able to give, you will also receive.
Shanu, can you please tell me how a person can feel energy?
Sure, I can. So, let's try this small experiment. I want you to press the center of your palms just once,
Okay.
both your hands.
Okay.
Okay. Put your hands facing each other for about 15 to 20 centimeters apart.
Okay.
Okay. Leave your hands loose. Inhale and exhale slowly and comfortably.
Mhm.
Just keep doing this for a few breathing cycles. Inhale and exhale slowly and comfortably. Go on. Keep doing it. Now, once a person has done this for about 1 to 2 minutes, let them move their hands back and forth gently.
Okay.
Do you feel a kind of a pressure between your hands?
Yes, I can sense it.
Or if you feel a magnetic feeling between your hands?
Well, that seems like a magic.
Yes, that
What's that?
that is life energy. So what you're feeling between both hands is life energy.
Okay.
You can do this at home to see if
So that's actually a practical
yes,
first time I've experienced this life energy between my hands.
right.
That's fascinating. Shanu, can you share with us during your early stage of learning pranic healing? Did you had any successful client stories that you can share with us? What were the results in the healings that you did?
So Aisha, I had just learned basic pranic healing, and there was someone who burnt their hand very badly. I applied simplified pranic healing where we sweep the dirty energy. When a person burns their hand or any part of the body, the heat energy gets trapped in their aura. So, what I did was I applied simplified pranic healing. I just kept sweeping and throwing out the dirty energy, and I kept energizing that place. I did this alternately, and I healed them probably for about 30 to 40 minutes.
Wow. Within 30-40 minutes.
After a few hours, because there is something called a lag time effect, it takes some time for the energy to settle in and work at a physical level.
Okay.
After a couple of hours, there was not even a single blister on the hand. There was no pain, there was no burning sensation, there was no blister, there was no water retention, there was no ugly mark. The skin color was just light pink with zero pain.
I'm sure, like initial stages when we are just beginners,
Yes.
so you need that confidence, to even shout out, yes, it works, right? I think these stories have helped you to develop that sort of confidence. And then in your journey of around 24 years now, and you are doing exceptional well in healing the people and souls around you. Shanu, do you have any tips for my listeners? Like if they have come from a busy mall or from a crowded place, or they have encountered somebody and they're feeling very low in energy levels, any sort of tips you have for my listeners today?
Yes, for sure, Aisha. So, one of the things you could do is take a salt shower at the end of the day. The other is to increase and enhance your energy levels. You could walk bare feet on green grass, or let's say by the beach, or on any clean open surface. You can walk bare feet. This will help you to absorb a lot of ground prana, the energy or the life energy in the earth. The third thing you could do is you could do deep abdominal breathing in an open environment. That could help to enhance your energy levels. By simply saying that I am in an ocean of life energy, increases the life energy that you have. So these are some of the things that one could do.
Oh, wow. They are interesting and they're quite easy to do.
Extremely easy.
Yeah.
Simple.
I'm definitely going to try them when I'm feeling low on energy levels. Thanks for your piece of advice. Okay, now let's talk about something very powerful which has been whispered for centuries called Kundalini. What is Kundalini energy?
All right. Aisha, Kundalini energy is a very powerful energy, which is somewhere at the base of the spine. And when you learn Arhatic yoga, which is the spiritual arm of pranic healing,
Okay.
it teaches you Kundalini meditation. It's a very powerful meditation which is taught. And the technique that is given in that meditation is one of the safest ways of activating your Kundalini energy.
Okay.
So, this Kundalini energy, when highly activated over a long period of time, can help a person become a genius, a great spiritual teacher, or a very, very charismatic leader of a country. So, one should definitely aim at activating their Kundalini energy for a long period of time. There are many techniques of activating the Kundalini energy, but some of the safest ways are taught in pranic healing and Arhatic yoga.
And what is Arhatic yoga?
Arhatic yoga is the spiritual arm of pranic healing. Or let me put it in Master Chow's words, pranic healing is a bridge to spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
And the spiritual arm of GMCKS teachings is Arhatic yoga. So the term yoga actually means union with your higher self.
Okay.
The term yoga is not just related to physical exercise. And that's something which Master Chow has explained in his course called Achieving Oneness with the Higher Soul. So he says union with your higher self, which is yoga, is not just an art, it is actually a spiritual technology.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he gives that spiritual technology in Achieving Oneness with the Higher Soul.
What does teachings of Master Chow Kok Sui tells about law of karma?
The law of karma basically states as you sow, so you reap. It's taught in major religions. It's taught in Hinduism, it's taught in Islam, it's taught in Christianity, it's taught in Buddhism. So, Master Chow has explained this by saying that what you do to others is going to come back to you. Now, in Hinduism, for example, they say that just as a farmer plants a certain kind of seed and gets a certain crop, so it is with good and bad deeds. In Islam, they say that if you have done good, you will receive reward. If you have done wrong, you will be punished. So, some people, when they're going through a difficult situation or the situation keeps repeating over and over again, they end up saying, oh, this is karmic and there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, that's very common.
Yeah, but that's not the right approach. Here is what Master Chow has to say, that you can use the law of forgiveness and the law of tithing. I'll explain both these
Mhm.
to generate good karma, which can help you to get past a difficult situation in your life.
Okay, so you earn that good karma.
Yes, it's like you earn money to pay off your bills. You earn the good karma to help you offset a difficult situation in your life.
Oh, that's
At
interesting.
least it makes it easier for you to go through it.
Yeah, when that phase of difficult times, it makes it easy to navigate that phase of your life. Yeah, so what we need is like good karma at that time. Though it's hard at that time, when people are going through that phase of challenges and struggles, doing such good deeds or accumulating good karma is a second thought which comes to people's mind at that time.
So in fact, I feel that's the first thought that should come because that's your boat to cross the river. Regarding inner forgiveness, we've covered that. The way it works is as we forgive people who have hurt us, we are forgiven for the mistakes that we've made. The law of tithing means to give 1/10 of your income to the needy and towards charity. So, by doing both these things, what you end up doing is generating good karma, which helps you to tide through a situation or helps you to get the resolution to a situation. and makes it easier for you to get past it.
Yeah, I think that's a good technique we should implement when we are going through that phase of our life. What we need to do is first thought on our mind should be, let's do some good act. Maybe a thought, a kindness thought, maybe giving some money for charity, maybe planting some trees, right? So, yeah, I think that's a good tip from your side. Thanks for sharing that. So, Shanu, you are also a meditation teacher. So, which sort of meditation you can recommend to our listeners?
I would recommend the Twin Heart meditation, which is also called the meditation for stress relief. It is a guided meditation by Master Choa Kok Sui. It is a unique meditation. Here, you're not meditating just for yourself, you're also meditating for the entire earth. Twin Heart meditation is to achieve peace and illumination. So, at a personal level, it helps you to feel inner peace, it helps you to feel calm, stress relief. But at a macro level, it helps you to bless the earth with peace and love. And therefore, you end up generating a lot of good karma too.
So, that's one of the way to earn more good karma in life.
Absolutely, it is. So, it's a simple meditation. It is a guided meditation by Master Choa Kok Sui. He makes you meditate on your heart chakra and your crown chakra
Okay.
and bless the earth with peace and love.
Mm-hmm.
During the whole session, there's a tremendous downpour of divine energy into the crown chakra, filling your whole body. So it has a lot of benefits, like it does a lot of physical healing, emotional healing. It helps you to release stress energy and raises your vibration. It helps you in your sleep. Twin Heart meditation has a lot of benefits. Some of the benefits are it does emotional healing for you. It flushes out a lot of negative thoughts of emotions, keeping you peaceful and calm. It does a lot of stress relief. It does physical healing. When your heart is big, you're able to forgive people. So, therefore, it does a lot of relationship healing as well. And prosperity healing, because since you bless the earth with peace, love, prosperity, and abundance by the law of karma, what you give others comes back to you many times over.
Yeah.
So it also helps you become prosperous and rich yourself.
Oh, wow. Wonderful. So, everyone should give a try to this twin heart meditation.
Absolutely.
So, how long does this meditation takes to do? Like, is it on a stretch of how many minutes or an hour?
It takes 21 minutes. It's a guided meditation by Master Choa. It's available online. You can download it on iTunes. You can order a CD from Amazon. You can buy a CD from any one of the centers. So it's available for anyone to pick and do it. The rules are given in the meditation.
For the person who is actually doing twin heart meditation on regular basis, how does that affect the aura of a person?
The aura of a person who's doing twin heart meditation regularly is much cleaner, brighter, and denser. So, when the mold to your physical body, which is your aura, is strong, it also helps you to have a strong physical body.
So, it's a step to a healthy physical body.
Absolutely. A healthy physical body and healthy emotions, because it helps you to feel peaceful and calm. It helps you to release stress energy, and it ends up giving you a very clean and sharp mind in a short period of time. Your ability to give a resolution to a problem is much faster.
So, you guys should definitely try the meditation on twin hearts and feel the benefits of twin hearts meditation. Okay, Sean, let's wrap up with a rapid fire round. One piece of advice for my listeners.
Heal and keep calm.
Okay, one superpower you want to have?
To be able to convince everyone to learn pranic healing.
Okay. One place you want to travel?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. So you love to travel.
I do.
Compassion or getting even?
Compassion.
One habit which you'll never miss.
Sol Shah at the end of the day.
So listening to you, Shanu, made me realize how important it is to keep our aura clean, our energy center cleans, and you coming here and sharing up your valuable tips to my listeners. I'm really grateful to you for that. Thank you for sharing the wisdom behind pranic healing. Thanks for coming to our show.
My pleasure, Aisha. Thank you very much for having me over.
Thank you. And listeners, if you find any piece of information useful, do implement it and do try twin heart meditation. It do wonders. I'll come back to you on the next episode soon. Thank you and lots of love.